Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Spannerman again here with another video. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Please subscribe to the channel. Any comments, thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Yeah, g'day YouTubers, Spannerman again with another video. Today we're going to talk about why your chainsaw gets dull. So, the trial and errors over the centuries has shown us that the sharpest edge for wood is best achieved if the angle is between, say, 25 and 45 degrees, with the sweet spot being around 25 to 30 degrees. And that's exactly, so on the spears that they used to have, the Romans and all that there, they were fairly pointy. And it didn't matter, long as they pierced the object, they were sharp. But with a chainsaw, you want it to stay sharp for much longer, for a couple of hours. So therefore, we still use a 25 to 30 degree top plate angle because it's been the best. One thing that you've got to realise is that what can cause your chain teeth to go dull very quickly is that the angle that you select, or whether you select a full chisel or a semi-chisel. On a full chisel chain, we have two edges that we have to create, and that's a compounded bevel. So what that looks like is you've got this angle here, but you've also got this beveled angle on the face. But the problem with a full chisel is because it's very pointy, this is the first part that contacts the timber. So as you can see, it's very, very easy to get blunt. When we reduce this angle to 10 degrees, then you find out that more of the pointed area comes in contact with the timber. So if we were to use a milling chain and it only has a top plate angle at 10 degrees, more of the point comes in contact, so therefore it stays sharper longer. So if we look at a semi-chisel, you'll see that's got a nice rounded corner, working corner. So there is about 4 or 5 times more surface area on that corner than the full chisel. So therefore, it's taking a lot of the impact. It's this corner that takes all of the impact, does all the hard work, and the rest of the chain slowly slices into the timber. But the very point of it does all the hard work. So if you've got the wrong angle, there's no point having a 35 degree angle and it's hitting hardwood. It's going to blunt really fast. It's going to go dull on you. Much better with 25 degrees on your hardwood. You've got soft timber, you can afford to go pointy. Now, full chisel probably cuts up to 10% more aggressive, but it dulls probably 30% quicker than, say, a semi-chisel. So in other words, if we were out in the field and I had a full chisel, I might only get 2 hours out of it, whereas you had a semi-chisel, you might get 3 hours out of it. So that's sort of the difference there. So over the years, people have been playing around with all angles, and you can play around to the cows come home, but you'll find out 25 to 35 is what most people go for, and 30 degrees is your probably sweet spot. 25 to 30 degrees. The top plate cutting angle, that's the angle that the grinding wheel comes in at manufacture, or it's the angle that you create with a file if 20 to 25% of the file sticks above the tooth. So when we put a file in here, as the file protrudes 20 to 25%, that little corner creates this angle here, which is about a 60 degree angle on an Oregon grinder, or a 30 degree angle on a Stihl grinder. Stihl uses 0 degrees reference, vertical reference point, whereas Oregon used 90 degrees as a vertical reference point. So don't go too aggressive on that top plate angle. 60 degrees is not aggressive. 50 degrees is starting to get more aggressive, because when you go 50 degrees, you're tilting over more. And remember that the top plate, the tooth, is sloped down 10 degrees. So that's even making that more pointy. So it's one angle that's never referred to on a full chisel. So if we've got a full chisel here and we're saying that this angle here is 60 degrees and we slope down 10 degrees, that's becoming more pointy. So yeah, 60 degrees is the sweet spot. If you can go 55 degrees, it's getting more aggressive. If you go 50 degrees, it's even getting more aggressive. So you don't want to go any aggressive than that. So it doesn't matter what chain we're talking about, whether it's Husqvarna, Stihl, Charlton, Archer, Pro Cut, you name them. All this geometry's got worked out many, many years ago. So the best profile for cutting timber is 60 degree top plate cutting angle and 30 degrees on the actual top plate, not to be confused with each other. So this is the top plate angle, it's just the angle, and the actual cutting angle is the angle that's on the face, the double. This is what you call a compounded beveled angle, which you can see that on here. May be able to see that better on there. Compounded bevel angle. So yeah, don't confuse that. Anyway, I hope that helps. So for all those people out there, just to recap, the beginners that are not too sure what angles to use, stick with the generic. 60 degrees here, 30 degrees on the top plate, which is, this is for the top plate, and this is for the top plate cutting angle. And that's it. And the only other last thing is that when you're using full chisel, some manufacturers recommend 10 degrees downward tilt on this type of Oregon grinder. That's easy to achieve just by moving the vise forwards or backwards. Look, I hope that helps. It's just a bit of a brief talk about having the right angles and why your chains go dull. The other thing is if you're cutting dirty timber and you hit a little bit of dirt, that's another reason where it'll go dull very quick. So try and keep your chainsaw out of that environment and it will last a lot longer. You should be able to get quite a few hours out of one chain. You could probably get up to 6 hours if you're cutting softwood. If you're cutting hardwood, depends on how hard the hardwood is, you may only get 2 hours, 2.5 hours. So it depends on that. And the only other thing that I'd say to people out there, if you live in a region where you do have softwood, you can afford to go 35 degrees on this top plate angle here, which is this angle here. That angle there, well, sorry, the actual 35 degrees is derived this way, holding the file perpendicular to the bar, and we measure the gap inside. That's where the 30 degrees comes from. This angle here would be 60 degrees. So it's always referred to as holding a file perpendicular and measuring this degree here. So obviously the more you go, if you go 35 degrees, you're going to have a much sharper point. If you start to come back to 25 degrees, you're going to be about here. And if you've got 10 degrees, you're going to be about there. Anyway, I hope that helps. It's just a little bit of a talk about why your chain can go dull. Yep, just try and keep it to 60 degrees on here, 30 degrees on this part, on the angle, and you'll be right. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.